Podcast with your hosts, Killer K and Big Southern. With your hosts, Killer K and Big Southern. Follow them on Twitter at The Wrestling Cafe and at Big Southern. Check out the website at www.TheRasslinCafe.com. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
What up, y'all? It's the homeboy Killer K, Wrestling Cafe, all up in your eardrums again. And I got the homeboy with me, Big Southern.
And I'm just chilling. Yes, sir. Had a very, very interesting wrestling week.
Exactly. We're going to quickly jump into that, man. But how was your Thanksgiving, bro?
Yeah, it was nice. It was pretty good, I woke up and I was able to it was a good one.
Yeah, man, after this podcast, man, I'm going to go get me some leftovers, man, so.
I heard that.
Waiting for me in the fridge. The only thing, man, when I left the crib from where I was at, man, they didn't give me no dessert, man.
Oh, wow.
I know, I'm like...
You know, the thing about Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner, man, is it's always better the next day.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm telling you.
And, yeah, I mean, cause I was grubbing on some apple caramel pie, man. That shit was off the chain, bro. And, when homegirl was like packing up the leftovers, I'm like, got home, where's the fucking pie? I ain't talking about the rocks pie either, man. And the Pooturn pie, man. I'm talking.
Although that's good too, but yeah, man.
But anyways, y'all, it's the day after Thanksgiving. Regis, unfortunately, is not with us this week. She's probably still passed out from the food coma. Still in that food coma, man, cause I'm telling you, man, I was almost there last night, man. But the social media plugins real quick, facebook.com/TheRasslinCafe, at Big Southern on Twitter, and what's the other one I'm forgetting?
The one for Twitter is at
yesterday, my bad. And iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio. Subscribe to the podcast, y'all. And show us some love, give us a rating, good rating and a review. And you never know, man, we might be giving away stuff in here in the future.
You never know.
Read your review. Hey, you never know. We might drop you a little something. But until then, we do appreciate all of you listening to the podcast, subscribing to the podcast, and spreading the word, because it's real to me, damn it. I love this shit, but... So at any rate, and see what we got to serve up for you guys this week.
And here for all your wrestling news, Big Southern and Killer K.
So yeah, man, the news for this week, we're coming off of Survivor Series, Raw, SmackDown, and, see, this is what I got here, as far as news. Let's see here. This past Monday, I don't remember the date. What was Monday's date? The 21st? The 20th.
I think it was the 20th.
Yeah, the 20th.
Because
Survivor Series was on the 19th. The Four Down was abolished. Do you have any memories about the Georgia Dome as far as matches and stuff like that? That place was famous for Goldberg and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that's the only one that I can really think of, but there were a lot of other things that took place in there, and I'm telling you, I think that idea was to, in a waste of money, it was to knock that building down. That was really, and then taxpayers are going to have to pay for that and all of this, that, and the other. And there was nothing wrong with the Georgia Dome. The only thing they had to do, if they wanted to, you know, modernize the building, is put more modernized equipment in the building, add on to the building if you want to. But why would you tear a perfectly good building down just to move it, get them another stadium? That was just really get them another stadium. That was just really stupid. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
In other news, we got, you know, a lot of people have been scratching their heads over the booking of Finn Balor.
Yeah, boy.
The latest that I heard on my end is originally it was supposed to be Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble. But according to the dirt sheets, Vince scrapped that match, and they're thinking about doing Braun Strowman against Brock. Finn Balor is not, quote, over enough. Your thoughts?
Vince is out of touch. That's just all to it. That's my thoughts. I ain't got nothing else to say about that, but Vince is out of touch. Definitely.
You know, Finn Balor, you know, according to a source close to Vince McMahon, perceives Finn Balor to be as one of those guys like a Dolph Ziggler. He can put on great matches, but that's about it. He ain't going to go nowhere else. And, go nowhere else. And
so let me throw this out here. A thought that someone else put out there, and I thought was very, very interesting. I don't know who it was that said this, but they were spot on. Okay, they were like, okay, so AJ Styles. Okay, they were like, okay, so AJ Styles and Finn Balor put that match on at the TLC pay-per-view, and Finn Balor had a great match with AJ Styles. It's Brock Lesnar, and AJ and Finn Balor are basically on the same level. So you mean to tell me AJ, you'll let AJ put on the match with Brock Lesnar, but not Finn Balor? What kind of sense do that make?
I don't get it, man. I hate to say, like, it still ties back to that Too Sweet shit, but
okay, but at the same time, if they are still trying to punish Finn Balor, why aren't they punishing AJ Styles too?
Good question.
That don't make no sense.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go with you, man. I mean, look at the history of small guys though in the company, man. They really had to prove themselves because Vince, being the big guy, meaning like he has like erections for the big dudes like Roman, Braun, and meaning like he has like erections for the big dudes like Roman, Braun, and blah 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 blah. Even look back in the 80s and the 90s, man, like Tugboat, you know, Earthquake, Barbarian, you know, the African Dream, you know, Vince, Giant Gonzalez, whatever, but, you know, it seems like Finn has two options, in my opinion. One, just continue doing what he's doing. Eventually, Vince will, you know, turn the other cheek. Or just when his contract leaves, pounce. You know what I mean? That's all I got thus far. Anything you heard through the grapevine?
Ooh, wee boy.
We'll save that call-up stuff later. Oh, let me, I'll mention that real quick, because we can go in detail later, but as everyone knows, and Big Southern, we had call-ups this week after Survivor Series, and 5 women were added to the main roster. 2 on Raw, 3 on SmackDown. And I just read a report this morning. According to Dave Meltzer, the women on the roster are common sense or logic states that when you call people up, that means they're going to get rid of more people or some people. And the main reason, from what I heard, the main reason behind Vince doing the call-up, and this shows that Vince is one patient motherfucker, man, because Dave Meltzer, or PW Insider, stating that Vince was getting bored with the current crop of the women on the roster. So that's why he called them up. Thoughts about all that?
Well, I didn't hear about the
thoughts about all that.
Well, I didn't hear about the Vince being bored.
Well, he thought it was stale, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's time for a change.
Well, I can agree that it's time for, more people to be put on the roster, like females, but as far as it being stale, I don't know where he gets that from.
I would tend to agree with him, because can you see, it's all about the mixture. Like, okay, well,
I know what you mean. This is okay. So this is the thing. I'm trying to think of who tweeted this out. I think it was Adam. Was it Edge's wife? What's her name? Edge's wife.
Beth Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix. I think she was the one who tweeted this out about them. Now it's time for them to start a tag team women. And remember I said something about that not long ago? It was probably a couple months ago when I was talking about how they could start a tag team women and just have that as the not exclusive to just one show. Just have not exclusive to just one show. Just have, I don't know how they would work it, but it could be worked if they started a tag teams women division.
And speaking of tag team division and new changes for the women, people are speculating that it's going to head, with these call-ups, it's going to lead to a women's Royal Rumble. That's going to be exciting, in my opinion. But who would you call? I mean, this is not nothing concrete or whatever, but who do you think is going to win that, man?
Man, it's kind of hard to call that right now.
I'm saying on a message board, I said, "Look, guys, Asuka just came up, and they're still trying to protect Nia Jax. I see it coming, Jax. You know what I mean?" But you were saying, who do you think is going to take it if they have it?
Now, as far as you talking about them wanting to protect, Asuka, they're gonna want to protect Paige right now too, and they're gonna want to protect those other the newest females. So basically, these females that's on there right now are going to be jobbers. Right now, anyway, because they are going to want to make these new females look strong.
What's weird though is the women that showed up on Raw, they got those two pairs. The other three on SmackDown, they seem to be coming in like, like the Shield, you know what I'm saying? Like the way they...
Yeah, I thought about the same thing. Boy, yep.
Because, you saw the way they was beating down Charlotte, man. They circled her, and then Charlotte tried... and that just helped me remember her. I didn't have it written down, but this is what I heard, the reason why they took out Becky Lynch so quickly is because she's going to be involved in that movie, The Marine 6, with The Miz. Lost the IC title to Roman Reigns this past week on Raw.
Yeah.
And now speaking of which, Roman Reigns is considered the 17th Grand Slam winner. He won every single damn title in the WWE. Seth Rollins is the last. He just needs to win that IC title, and then he's going to be a Grand Slam winner himself.
Okay. Let me see.
Because he was a tag team.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a tag team champion with Roman.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't remember. I can't remember who he beat for the U.S. title, but I remember he lost it to, I want to say, John Cena. It was. He took on John Cena.
Oh yeah, didn't he have? Wait a minute, didn't he have both of the belts or something? And he had to. Wait a minute, didn't he have both of the belts or something? And he had to. And he something I can't remember what. Yeah, that's right, because he. Dang, but see, he had that dang U.S. title so brief.
Yeah, I didn't even see the point of why even having that title, man. I mean, it was. Yeah, I didn't even see the point of why even having that title, man. I mean, it was. I have to look that one up, how long he had it, but let's see here. What else we got? Jack Swagger is entering MMA.
Wow. Wow.
And so I can't remember the name. Bellator, I think what it is. He's going to be doing.
Oh, okay. He'd probably be good too.
And he's like,
since he already got a background in wrestling.
Yeah, so he's looking. Yeah, so he's looking to do a fight next year sometime. So I'm happy for the guy, man, because he was saying he wasn't happy with the push or lack of push that he got, but he wasn't going to go out and bury the company. He was just like, look, man, it wasn't going nowhere. You know what I mean? His money, because he was saying that the pushes when they stop, it kind of affects your pay. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get pushed, you get paid. When you don't get pushed, you don't get. You know, your checks ain't so
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I can't think of anything. I guess Ken Kennedy is a boxing announcer now.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yep.
I've always seen that in the guy, though, man. I've always seen like that Michael Buffer-ish type shit, man. And bottom line is, man, I mean, I'm not going to slam on any wrestlers, man. I'm glad for TNA, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad that I'm really excited for Swagger, though, man. I mean, I hope he doesn't, well, he's not jumping into the lines then like CM Punk, you know what I'm saying? CM Punk went straight to UFC, but at least Swagger, he's starting at quote-unquote the bottom, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to see him getting tore up in 34 seconds or whatever it was that CM Punk did.
Well, the one thing that I really do give CM Punk on that is that, I give him credit for his guts going out there to do that. And you know that CM Punk is a smart dude too, so shoot.
It was just a bucket list kind of thing, man. He doesn't need the money, bro. You know what I mean? But as of this recording, November 24, that's all we got for. Shit. Sorry, guys. I'm still trying to battle this cough, but that's all we got for the news. And let's jump into the main course.
Yes, sir.
Alright, man, so before we jump on to talk about everything and get your thoughts about stuff, I just wanted to do some housekeeping from last podcast. There was a conversation that we had about, I made a comment in the last podcast, wrestling school, and I couldn't remember who it was until like the next day. She paid for Best Phoenix to go to wrestling school.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, I
heard about that, but I didn't know who it was either.
I just couldn't remember for the life of me, but for some reason it just popped in my head the next day. And then last week we couldn't remember who, last podcast we couldn't remember who Xavier Woods was in TNA. His name was Consequences Creed. If that rings a bell. I mean, if it doesn't, that's okay, because I didn't watch TNA that much, but I'm surprised that he is, I don't know. I mean, I just get shocked, I don't know. I mean, I just get shocked when I see guys come over from TNA and go over to the E, because you know how Vince is. We talked about that numerous times, where Vince, if he's not your creation, he's going to neuter the hell out of you, and I'm surprised that Xavier Woods, he's going to neuter the hell out of you, and I'm surprised that Xavier Woods, with the New Day, he's been rocking it, man, killing it for 3 years with these guys. And, so yeah, Consequences Creed, now better known as Xavier Woods, and, so let's talk about Survivor Series, man, and then we'll jumble up everything else.
Before we go there, I'm glad that you said what Xavier Woods' name was in TNA. Xavier Woods' name was in TNA, because I could not think of that for the life of me, man. Consequences Creed. I remember him in TNA as that. I remember that. And then when he TNA as that. I remember that. And then when he came over to the WWE, at first I didn't know that was him until somebody pointed it out to me, and they was like, yeah, remember? And I was like, oh yeah, okay. So, yep.
I was just like, okay. But Survivor Series, though, in the books, 2017, I rated it. I gave it an 8 out of 10. What did you give it, bro?
Oh boy, I gave it because it was just a couple things that could have been done differently, but yeah.
In my opinion, the matches that carried the pay-per-view were the New Day, Rock match, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in my opinion, we can go all over the place right now. I mean, in my opinion, the main event, it didn't go the way I thought it would go, because, and this is my beef that I had with the main event, which was Kurt Angle's team versus Shane. I was wrong on that. I thought Shane McMahon and SmackDown were going to come out on top. And if you guys didn't see it, basically it came down to Shane for Team Blue. And then it came down to Triple H, Kurt Angle, and Braun Strowman. Triple H, the way it looked to me that Kurt Angle tagged himself in, he wanted to battle Shane, and then Triple H pedigreed Kurt Angle and put him on top of Shane. And then the sole survivors were Triple H and Braun Strowman, and then Braun Strowman got pissed off about the double cross. and beat the fuck out of Triple H. Now, before I hand you over the mic, bro, this is what I see. I see that, look, you had Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, and Bobby Roode. If you didn't notice, they got eliminated quick seconds, but they got eliminated earlier in the match. And
Shinsuke Nakamura.
And Shinsuke, wouldn't you think that they want to focus on them? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I would have thought, yeah.
But instead, they focused on Triple H, and then that's the problem that I had. I mean, that match had the potential of being off the chain, man, but... Yeah,
because they could have let the new guys, this fresh meat, shine. Because I'm saying, okay, Triple H, although I do think that Kurt Angle should have, I just think that, you know, they did, because, okay, not Triple H, Kurt Angle was actually beating Shane, and he was gonna beat him.
Yeah, he had him in the ankle.
He had him. Here come Triple H wanting to be the one to basically win the match for Raw, but when he attacked Kurt Angle, nobody knew what he was doing. They were like, "Oh no, is he in cahoots with Shane?" You know, and she come to find out he was trying to win the match on his own. And like you said, here come Braun. Braun was pissed off. So I'm wondering about that too, because you know something is going to happen with Triple H and Braun Strowman. From what I heard, happened with Triple H and Braun Strowman. From what I heard something about a rumor that it was going to be Triple H and Braun Strowman coming up sometime soon. But you know, with Kane back in the picture, you know, and how Kane dogged, I'm going way ahead, but how Kane dogged Braun Strowman on Raw, I don't know. But anyway,
man, you should wrap all that up, man. It's like, okay, it's good though. It's good to not know where they're going, because that's how we've done. I've always bitched about predictability. I don't like predictability. I like not knowing where they're heading. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, but sometimes predictability is good too, because sometimes the writing is right there on the wall, and shit, it's clear for you to see. Just like, you know, I hate to throw this in here right now, but just like with Roman Reigns, man, the writing is on the wall. The fans don't like him. Yeah. They don't, and you know, and they still trying to stuff him down people's throats. And I mean, I don't know, but people's throats, and I mean, I don't know, but yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. It's predictable. It's predictable to, you know, to go another route with him, but they are not trying to. They're not trying to bite.
Clearly, the focus was on
not trying to bite.
Clearly, the focus was on Braun Strowman, because he was one of the sole survivors.
Yeah, and he was the last man standing.
Exactly, and you know, like you said, the next day on Raw, he got punked by Kane.
Chair shot to the throat.
Yup, and he left the ring on his own. But man, that dude can play, man, and he can act, man. Did you hear him selling for that?
Yep.
You know, not being able to breathe and shit. I'm like, wow, man, this guy.
Mm-hmm. Money.
You until February, a Raw pay-per-view. That's another thing we didn't cover in the news, but I'm kind of, you know, I don't have the list in front of me, but it seems like they're making some changes to the pay-per-views next year. Well, I'm excited that Money in the Bank is going to be multi-brand as opposed to high-brand.
That was the one that I was trying to think of, and I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, I think they have 15 pay-per-views next year, but I'm going to be excited about that SmackDown thing and Raw and the Money in the Bank. But So yeah,
instead of
having
know. 4, they're going to have 5, and that's that.
So yeah,
instead of having 4, they're going to have 5, and that's that. I think that's good. I don't remember who I talked to about that one time, but me and somebody else was talking about that. You know, they should have the Money in the Bank as a pay-per-view for both shows. It should be because it would only make sense.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't know, man. That would be like, didn't they, for both shows, didn't they have 2 Money in the Bank winners?
Okay, this last time they had the Money in the Bank for the women and the Money in the Bank for the men.
Oh, okay.
But I remember one time when they did have the shows like that at one time, they had a Money in the Bank for SmackDown, and they had a Money in the Bank for Raw. They did that one time before, and then now they can add the Money in the Bank for the women for SmackDown and the Money in the Bank for the women for Raw, because they got enough people on the roster to do that.
Right. So the women's match, back to Survivor Series, the women's match. To close my thoughts on that Braun Triple H thing, I don't know. Of course, I see Triple H putting over Strowman because I think he moved on from the Roman Reigns experiment. So he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to try to make this guy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the best bet. That's the predictable thing to do.
And the sensible thing, I mean, because Vince probably thinks, he's already over. Listen to all this crowd cheering him and blah, 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 blah.
And that's why
over organically, you know what I'm saying? Braun Strowman, he don't got to be tagging up with anyone to get a pop or anything.
Nope.
But the women's match between SmackDown and Raw, it seemed kind of, I don't know. It wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be. You know, there were some timing issues, like I think it was Naomi who pinned. Who was it? Did she pin?
I think Naomi pinned. No, I don't think she pinned. I think she pinned. Didn't she pin Bayley?
No, I don't remember.
I don't even remember, but I know once she did get the pin. So who came in the ring and got?
I don't remember
I don't even remember how that happened.
The order of elimination. I just remember Bayley.
No.
I think Bayley was the first one out, though.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, basically, whoever, I can't remember. I mean, who Naomi pinned, but they kind of messed up. They kind of messed up a spot there, but. I was actually shocked to see that Natalya came down to the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like Carmella. I thought they were going to put a spotlight on her.
Yeah, but Carmella wasn't even in that match.
Spotlight on her.
Yeah, but Carmella wasn't even in that match.
She was on the SmackDown Divas.
Wait a minute, was she? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I'm thinking about something else. Never mind.
But obviously, they had to just like, I didn't think about this, man. You know, it should have been common sense that Asuka was going to be the sole survivor.
That's what I was trying to tell y'all.
But,
I was trying to tell y'all that Asuka was they were not going to have Asuka pin about Nia Jax. She didn't get pinned either. She got counted out.
But she did. She did get pinned though in last year's Survivor Series. I remember the 3 horsewomen. They like did a power bomb, but because even though she was pinned, that still protected her because it took 3 people to pin her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So both her and Asuka were protected in that match, and you can kind of tell that, you know, they were. You can kind of tell that, you know, they leading up to something.
And speaking of those two, when the women came down and beat down, you know, Paige and the NXT women, when they beat down the women's roster, where the hell was Nia Jax? They beat down the women's roster. Where the hell was Nia Jax? Didn't you notice they didn't mess with Nia Jax and Asuka?
They didn't mess with Nia Jax or Asuka. Nope, I sure did notice that, and that's you know, for their protection. And then what I was thinking about when Carmella was like one of the only women on the SmackDown side that didn't get attacked too.
You know what? I knew they weren't going to do this. They weren't going to do this because it was too soon, but I honestly thought for 2 seconds, okay, they beat the hell out of it's going to come in and cash in right there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
that would have been ugly, boy.
But then again, maybe she didn't want to do it because she's like, oh, maybe if I go in there, they'll beat my ass too, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But I see Charlotte, back to that storyline real quick. I don't know. Well, with Becky Lynch out of the picture for a while, because nobody knows when she'll come back because she's doing that movie, it might be Charlotte, Natalya, who's another face on SmackDown?
I heard that at Clash of the Champions, it's supposed to be Charlotte, Natalya, and Naomi.
Yeah, Naomi
taking on Liv Morgan, Riot, and what was the other girl named? Sarah Logan.
And there you go. I'll call it out right now. You know, Naomi is going to take the pin for that match.
Probably so.
And speaking of Clash,
it may either be her. It may either be her or.
Not going to get pinned, but
I don't see that happening.
AJ Styles is fixing to fight Jinder
Mahal. Yeah.
And, that's not big news in my opinion, but
no. Brock Lesnar match was wonderful though.
Oh yeah, I mean that match. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I was thinking during that match. First, I thought it was gonna be a squash because for the first 7 minutes, man, he was killing AJ. I'm like, oh man, don't tell me he's gonna do that. And the next thing you know, here comes AJ, and he took Brock to the limit, bro. And what I read on the news via PW Insider and Meltzer and that Lesnar was hurt, but he was just selling.
He was just selling. He was so pleased with the match, he wanted to sell it.
And even backstage, he was selling. The boys in the back thought he was hurt, but that's what they used to do back in the day, bro. I mean, like, you know, they used to do back in the day, bro. I mean, like, you know, even, you know, kayfabe it, like, okay, I won't talk to you when I see you in public. You know, so Brock got that old school adage in him, man. I mean, hate on him all you want, not you, but people can hate on him all you want, but he's doing old school. You know what I mean? You can hate on him all you want, but he's doing old school. You know what I mean? At least in that area. And the fact that he stayed in the ring, I mean, that was just a sign of respect, in my opinion, that he got respect for AJ Styles, man.
Yeah, but you remember Paul Heyman's even saying that.
Oh, yeah.
He told. But you remember Paul Heyman's even saying that.
Oh, yeah.
He told AJ that Brock got respect for you.
Yeah, and
he does respect you.
There was a promo that he did on that it's on YouTube that Paul Heyman put over AJ big time, and hopefully they get to cross paths again, man. But I would rate that match like, you know, out of 5 stars, it went 15 minutes like I said it was going to, but I don't know, something about that, to seeing quick matches with Brock, I thought it was going to be over, you know what I'm saying? And it just, for me, I'm like, dude, just get it over with, okay? You're beating his ass. But I was surprised to see, them let AJ come back and Brock, put up a fight. He literally put up a fight, you know what I'm saying? And I was thinking this last weekend, and this is the reason why I don't care about brownie points or anything like that, but I was thinking to myself, watch, the match is going to end with him doing the forearm into the F5. You know what I'm saying? And that would make sense because the dudes jumped F5. You know what I'm saying? So, but nonetheless, man, Brock, AJ Styles, man, I give that match 4 out of 5. How did you rate that match?
I'm with you, 4 out of 5. It was 4 out of 5 because one thing about it, the match, but AJ came back and he made Brock work, which was something that I said was going to happen. I said AJ is going to make Brock work that match, so he did, and I enjoyed it, man. 4 out of 5.
Let's see, we had the Cruiserweight, we could fuck that one, so yeah, we'll skip that one, the Cruiserweight match, because I didn't really watch that one. But what else do we have going on Survivor Series here? The Shield versus the New Day. Yeah, we all knew on Survivor Series here. The Shield versus the New Day. Yeah, we all knew the Shield was going to win, but how did you like the match, bro?
I said we already knew that the Shield was going to win this match, and because they are trying to keep the Shield looking strong. But with New Day, it didn't hurt New Day either to lose, because New Day is looking strong too now that they own the Shield. And they own the Shield. And with Roman Reigns, being out for that TLC thing and all of that, and he's, he been out for so long or whatever, they are going to try to make him look a little better now. They are going to try to make him look a little better now. And especially with them putting that Intercontinental title on him too, the next night.
It's going to be interesting though to see who Roman Reigns, when it comes to WrestleMania season, he's going to have to drop that title. It's going to be interesting to see who he drops.
Get it. I don't know. What was, I know, dang. Oh my goodness. I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead, man.
All right. So we mentioned earlier, about Thanksgiving. I'm telling you, like I said, she went to a food coma, bro. But Regis,
yeah, man.
You take it easy. We'll see you in the next podcast.
Yep.
But yeah, but Survivor Series, it was a good pay-per-view. I think I got my money's worth. 8 out of 10 ain't bad. I mean,
the match? Yeah, the match that I was really looking forward to was Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. I'm telling you, boy, I enjoyed that match. And see, I kind of figured that Charlotte was going to win that match because, she just won the title for SmackDown. And I just didn't see her coming in to the pay-per-view right after she win it and lose to Alexa Bliss. I didn't see that happening. And, I enjoyed that match though. And another match that I enjoyed was that dang Miz and Baron Corbin, because I kind of figured now since Baron Corbin just pretty much won that U.S. title, and they are trying to make him look strong, I was like, and they are trying to make him look strong. I was like, Baron Corbin is going to win that match. So,
well, you know,
he got it.
If I remember my prediction, I said The Miz, but it makes sense that that Corbin would win because he needs to win more than The Miz. You know what I'm saying? The Miz
exactly.
Made in
Heat
because he needs to win more than The Miz. You know what I'm saying? The Miz
exactly.
Made in Heat. You know, they're still trying to build up Corbin, so he needs to win more than The Miz. But I wasn't into that match for some reason. It's just something about that dynamic about two heels fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's depending on who the two heels are. Like, okay, say if you had, like, let's say if you had Kevin Owens and, I guess, who could I put with Kevin Owens? Now, I didn't really, you know, sit there and like, oh man, this is a good match. I didn't do all that. But once Baron Corbin won the match, I was like, see, that's what I thought was going to happen. So, I mean, it was an okay match though.
What do you mean? Like, he came back, he's all about whooping ass, blah, 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 blah. You know, a couple months ago, there was speculation that he might have a feud with Braun Strowman, but that's not happening right now. But where do you see him going? I mean, is he just going to be beating up people?
The only thing...
Is he just going to be beating up people?
The only thing that I could say, man, is Samoa Joe, honestly, should be right up there where AJ Styles is right now. He should have already, in my opinion, he should have right now. He should have already, in my opinion, he should have already, I think that he should have came straight to the main roster, period. But, you know, they were trying to build NXT around him and everything. But in the near future, man, I really, really hope that they are planning on putting one of those titles on Samoa Joe and giving him a run with it. And I mean a good run. That's where I'm hoping that the direction for him is. I'm sure that's where Triple H wants to go with it. But we'll see. I just hope I'm right.
Storylines over on SmackDown. A lot of people thought, you know, because at the beginning of the show, Shane and, you know, he wasn't going to fire Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for interfering in the match at Survivor Series. Daniel Bryan came out, and then at the end, you know, they made it look like he was going to fire them, but he didn't. Daniel Bryan, and you and I talked about him going heel. It might be a slow burn, but if you remember the backstage interview that he had, they asked him, what does he think about the women that just got called up, and what do you think that just happened here? You know, with all these women getting beat down, and he just said, interesting. No, you know, a lot of people were thinking that he probably has something to do with that, you know, and that might have something to do with the heel turn. But
now, you did hear Shane say something to Daniel Bryan about bringing. He was like, "I see you've been busy or something," and he was telling him about, and that's about all he said.
Yeah, well, you know, in my, I don't know what the hell was wrong with me Tuesday night, man. I just kept falling asleep, waking up, falling asleep, waking up.
Twisted thing.
Exactly, man. I'm like,
yeah.
SmackDown started, and then made it to the ring. I got knocked out, and then I woke up again right after the SmackDown women got beat down. I'm like, oh man, what the hell's going on? I think, like you said, Twisted Tea. I think I drank it too early, you know.
Yeah, but, boy, it was just not meant for you.
Nope, not on Tuesday.
Boy, it was just not meant for you.
Nope, not on Tuesdays. But yeah, so that's Survivor Series and NXT Takeover. What did you think about NXT Takeover?
Let's do this one more match. It was the Bar and the Usos. It was the Bar and the Usos, and it shocked me really. This match really shocked me that the Usos won it. That shocked me. I was shocked.
Yeah, I thought
too.
Prediction, but
I'm glad that they put the Usos over though, because the Usos do need to look stronger, and I think that's good.
Well, I think now that it comes back to me, I think the Bar should have took over, because the Usos already look the same at the. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. And I guess it's just, to me, it makes because I'm thinking that it's probably the tag team right now with those belts. I think that they probably are going to end up letting Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose get those belts back. I don't know. I think because you see Roman Reigns with the Intercontinental belt now,
having a title, so
probably
title. And but yeah, NXT Takeover. When I watched
it was really good. That was a really good show too.
I was really impressed with. I mean, after watching NXT Wednesday night, I wasn't too impressed with his promo skills. I mean, he's supposed to be this. What's his name? Sullivan. I wasn't too impressed with his promo skills, but he's one of them guys that needs to be
polished.
He's one of them guys that needs to be
polished.
Polished and have a manager to do his talking.
Yeah.
But he defeated Ono, and Ono being the veteran of the game, he's just there to help out the younger talent. Kind of like why Joe was there for a while. And Shinsuke, while they were there for a while, just to help out the younger talent. But I hope they. I'm not saying he's gonna be like another Braun Strowman or whatever, but he's a big man. You know what I'm saying? And he'd be like another Braun Strowman or whatever, but he's a big man. You know what I'm saying? And he got some killer entrance music though. I like his entrance music, man. But let's see. The Dream, Valentine, whatever his name is. Valentine, whatever his name is.
The Velveteen Dream took on Aleister Black.
That match, at first, it was kind of slow in the sense of like, dude, but they got the crowd into it later on in the match. But a lot of folks I've heard said that was the match of the night, the main event. But I think the main event is just like a bunch of marks marking over War Games because they haven't seen it in a while. But if you didn't have the War Games match on there, man, that would have been the match of the night. That was a pretty good match though, between the Dream and
that match. And talking about Aleister Black, I'm surprised that Aleister Black is not on the main roster yet, because I heard that the people backstage are really, really high on him on the main roster. I mean, working with the main roster before, just to see, how he would do. And they said he did really good. So I'm just shocked that he's not already there, because, he's been in the game for a while too.
And speaking of being bicep tear, injury, Drew McIntyre, dropped the title at NXT TakeOver, and last I heard, unless new stuff came out, they haven't. That injury actually happened at
NXT at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it happened during the match. So they had to pull an audible and have that other guy win. But that's too bad. I mean, he just returned and he had a whole bunch of steam. And too bad. I mean, he just returned and he had a whole bunch of steam. And you know.
Yeah, and from what I heard, it was a possibility of them bringing him up too. But I don't know.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, you got to balance it out. You don't want to bring up too many people. I mean,
right. I agree with that. But you know, when you balance it out, man, I'm glad that they brought women this time. But I also think that, you know, what they should do is wait and bring up, you know, some more people when they are ready to be brought up. Don't bring them up so quick, you know, because they already about to have some more women stuff going on too. Because, you know, at WrestleMania, they are talking about having the 4 Horsemen versus the 4 Horsemen match, and what do with them. Maybe. That's why it's really, really time for a tag team women's division, man. Seriously.
You just helped me think of something here. Maybe that's a backup plan just in case the 4 Horsewomen can't do the match with the Horsewomen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they talk about doing that. But I feel you got to always have a plan B, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, that could be the possible backup plan, and I give them props if they have a backup plan because they normally don't. Let's see what else here. Excuse me about this. I took my kids out to the movies Saturday night, and I didn't catch NXT TakeOver until like 11 o'clock my time. And
I caught it late myself.
And I had a couple of twisted teas in me, and but if memory serves, the Undisputed Era took the match. And
it was a really good match too. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of action and blood. It was a lot of action and blood.
And that's the match. It was on in the background, but like I said, I was kind of like out of it. You know what I mean? I caught the ending.
Yeah.
But I would have to say that I was more intrigued with NXT than I was. I mean, they were both good, but if you were to make me pick, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I rated NXT 9 out of 10.
Me too. I did it. That's the same thing I did. Yep.
And you know, so
that's the same thing I did. Yep.
And you know, so, and it wasn't because of the, you know, most on the wrestling community forums here, they said it was the War Games match that took it a notch above Survivor Series. That's not for me. For me, it was a good. I was actually, well, not really, but it was enjoyable. Basically, I mean, for a guy like me who don't watch NXT, I just watch the takeovers.
Yeah,
I don't watch the shows. But it was decent. And one thing we forgot to mention, congratulations goes out to...
I was gonna bring it up.
But it made sense, though, for her to win that because she's been battling Asuka all year until Asuka left.
And I think the only reason why she didn't win, because I think she was supposed to be the one to actually defeat Asuka, but she was a shoulder injury. And she was out for a little bit, and, you know, the other women that they put against Asuka definitely weren't going to be the ones crowned to beat her. So, you know, I think they did it the right way by letting Asuka go out undefeated. That's the best thing I think they could have. Right. So the booking for Asuka is okay right now.
Yeah, so the next NXT TakeOver is Royal Rumble weekend, and next week on NXT, if I heard it right, they're going to have a number 1 contenders match for Amber Moon. Isn't that what, did you watch NXT this week, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they said? I was kind of confused. I thought they were gonna have the match that night.
They just going. It's going to be a number one contenders thing.
Next week, though, right?
I don't remember when.
Next week, though, right?
I don't remember when they gonna do it, but I'll go check and see. And I don't remember that.
So yeah, let's see what else is there to talk. About. We talked about
really everything that kind of went on.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, I mean to rate.
The only thing that we didn't mention was the females that came. Mandy Rose and
Sonya
Deville. Man, I was so hyped up when I heard Paige's music hit. Boy, I jumped up like a big old bitch. I was happy, really happy about that.
You know, I heard about Paige returning, and I'm sitting there going, she has to return during the women's segment, but when she didn't, to a point. It's right.
Yep.
You know, she should have came out, in my opinion, at the end, because
I think they did it right.
Because the music hit, she walks out. Did you miss me? Blah, 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 blah. And she got a pretty good pop, man. And I'm talking, okay, my daughter is a teenager, and she hasn't watched wrestling in years, right? She stopped watching when she was like 10. And, she really liked Paige back then. And she was out there eating at the table. When she heard that music hit, she bolted to my room, and she was glued to the TV, man, and was excited to see Paige and shit. But, and sidebar, she broke up with Del Rio, so that's good.
Good. Yeah.
Del Rio, so that's good.
Good. Yeah.
And, but yeah, that was a badass beat now, man. I mean,
and let me tell you why I think that they shouldn't have let her come out at the end of that match. I shouldn't have let her come out at the end of that match. I don't think they should have let her come out at the end of that match because, I think that it's time for them to put some new meat against, it's time for them to have somebody else go for that title. It's time for them to have somebody else go for that title instead of them. Because, I mean, come on, man. They already done. I mean, how many times are they going to put them in a freaking fatal 4-way match? The same females.
Right. And Alexa Bliss damn near beat everybody except for Jackson and Asuka, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to get really boring quick.
Exactly. That's why it was good for them to bring. Now, we never saw Alexa Bliss face Paige. That would be a really good match. And I know that Paige times.
And Mickie James went on record stating she would really like to face Paige when she gets to the WWE at the time.
I would love to see that too. And I'm sure they're going to make that happen.
Kind of like what I said about the SmackDown crew, because like backstage, I kind of had a gut feeling they were going to bomb on Alexa, but another side of me thought, this might be a new clique here. You know what I'm saying? Alexa Bliss with these 3 women that battle the faces on Raw. But nope, they ended up bombing the faces on Raw. But nope, they ended up bombing on her. So I wonder if that's like a catalyst to help Alexa go face. You know what I mean? Or maybe not.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know. They usually, I don't know. They usually when they bring somebody out, or somebody new that's a heel that attacks somebody that's a heel, usually that is a sign of they're about to turn that person face. But I'm thinking that Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, man, both of them are face. But I'm thinking that Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, man, both of them are best being healed. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, man. I'd rather see Alexa and well, Alexa could be that attitude type heel like a tweener, you know what I mean? Alexa could be that attitude type heel like a tweener, you know what I mean? Babyface, I mean like, John Cena, he's out there ripping the crowd, and he doesn't rip the crowd, but he's damn near not a babyface or a heel. You know what I'm saying? Cause he gets it both, the boos and the cheers, but if you were to look at it from that perspective, but if you were to make me choose, I'd rather just keep Alexa heel and put Charlotte back as a heel. So yeah, I mean, this 4 nights of wrestling, man, I think Houston got their money's worth. Let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah, Daniel Bryan next week on SmackDown on whatever that date is. A week after Survivor Series, Kevin Owens is gonna be fighting Randy. There was this rumbling. We didn't cover this. They teased that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had a meeting with Stephanie McMahon about being switched over to Raw. Do you see anything moving forward about that, or it was just bullshit talk just to go with the story?
Looking like they are probably about to switch over some people, probably send some people from SmackDown to Raw and some people from Raw to SmackDown. I think that would be good right about now. Oh yeah, and one more thing that we didn't cover too, Matt's really, really close to getting that broken gimmick.
Yeah, he's been teasing that too. Like, he's almost reaching his breaking point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the news item, but I didn't read it. You know what I mean? I don't know what it said. What did it say? What information did you hear about that? You know what I mean? I don't know what it said. What did it say? What information did you hear about that?
I just heard that he had put his his papers in with the trademark offices or whatever, and his thing is up for or whatever, and his thing is up for being
reviewed,
approved, or reviewed and whatever. And they said if the don't contest or whatever in 30, I forgot how long, but it'll be his.
It's all good. So yeah, it'll be exciting to see that, man. And then I guarantee you, it might be broken Matt Hardy against a face Bray Wyatt. That'd be kind of interesting. Broken Matt Hardy against a face Bray Wyatt. That'd be kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in a nutshell, guys, that's podcast number 15. And sorry we were all over the place. Maybe I'm still recovering from yesterday's festivities, and we just want to get to know. We have to take some time off and recover, but I just wanted to get this podcast out to you guys and get our thoughts, because homeboy is going out of town, got some business to take care of, and we wanted to get this out to you guys sooner than later.
Yep.
And be back next time, and we'll get her thoughts on what she thought about the pay-per-view and all that stuff. And we will talk about Clash of the Champions, which takes place December 17, I believe. And so far, the only matches that are confirmed is the AJ Styles against Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, that's the only one that I heard that was confirmed. But I heard about other matches too.
Yeah, before we close shop here, man, I've been debating, man. I mean, like all these different news at the Wrestling Cafe, but I'm like, man, should I subscribe to PW Insider? Should I subscribe to what's his name, Dave Meltzer? I don't know, man. It's just because Dave Meltzer seems to be on point with a lot of his stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some of the other. That's why I like to subscribe to multiple ones just to see, you know, how everything pan out.
Well, I'm talking about the paid ones, man. These niggas be charging.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I got you.
I mean, because
I think I'd rather go. Yeah, I got you.
I mean, because
I think I'd rather go Dave Meltzer on that and Brian Alvarez. Yeah.
Well, my only confusion there is because I want to listen to it on my phone and on my computer. I just can't figure out how to listen to it on my phone because I paid for it for like a month and then I couldn't figure out how to listen to the shit on my phone.
Yeah.
Until I can figure that one out. Because I ain't trying to listen to it on my computer because I'm not on my computer as much as I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But at any rate, guys, thank you again for. Sorry if we were kind of off beat here this week, but you know, it is what it is. Not everyone has a good match. You know what I mean? And shout out to everyone that's liking the page on Facebook. At the Wrestling Cafe on Facebook. And we're going to close out on a good note, and that is, because I just remembered this, I should have mentioned it at the beginning, but Kamala is off life support and is breathing now. He was, hospitalized at early this week, late last weekend, whatever, but, late last weekend, whatever, but it's good to hear that he is off life support and is now breathing on his own.
Yeah, I heard about that myself, and I was so happy to hear that. So
until then, Big Southern, you enjoy your trip out of town, and again, hit him up on Twitter at Big Southern. At The Wrestling Cafe, subscribe to our podcast, Google Play, Radio, and Stitcher. And we will be back for our Clash of the Champions review. And leave us feedback. Any feedback is better than, good or bad. Doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Then if you guys got some tips and tricks to pass along, go for it. Wouldn't hurt. But at any rate, guys, that's the music to cue us out of here. We will catch you guys for the next podcast, and thank you for listening, y'all.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Wrestling Cafe podcast. Follow us on Twitter at The Wrestling Cafe and at Big Southern. Check out our website at www.TheRasslinCafe.com. Join us next time on another episode